According to the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, Nigeria's domestic consumption of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly known as cooking gas, exceeded 1 million metric tons in 2020. Well, despite the steady upward movement of the consumption level, Nigeria is still ranked lowest in sub-Saharan Africa in per capita usage of LPG, consuming 1.8 kilogram compared with Ghana at 3.0 kg, South Africa 5.5 kg, while Morocco consumes around 44 kg per capita. Nigeria's consumption compared to West African counterparts is not looking very good, and Nigerians are set to depend majorly. Some still use firewood as source of energy for cooking, with its attendant collateral damage to human health and the environment. The major barrier to the proliferation of LPG in Nigeria is infrastructure for storage, distribution to end users, and the major price stability of the products. Well, let's get talking. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Association of LPG Marketers, Mr. Basi Yesen, is here live in the studio. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here again.
Yes, it's nice to be here again on a Monday, but you are saying we'll buy gas for 18,000 naira, 12.5 kilogram. That is not good news for, I'm sure Nigerians will not like that. So let him tell us what is really happening. What is playing out in the market?
See, some years back, we came here, I was there, and told you that price of LPG 12.5 kg will go as much as 10,000 that year. And it actually ended at 10,000 that year. This year, again, we are looking at far higher than that. And it might be realities. Two things play here.
Okay.
We know that the inconsistent and insufficient supply of gas has been responsible for this price distortion. Our gas comes from two places, two sources.
Okay.
The LNG, which is the biggest source of local supplies, and the imported version. The two are still there. Now, in the domestic scheme, the domestic allocation doesn't come directly to marketers. It goes through what I'll call middlemen. And some of them don't have any LPG infrastructure on ground. The product gets to them.
They sell.
Before, even last year, the product was getting to them for about, say, like 5-6 million. And before it gets out of the terminal, it's about 12. How do you explain that? That is on the
on one side.
Now, on the imported side, fine, they have to augment the supply gap. And from the imported side, they keep giving us excuses. I have documents here so that it doesn't look as if I'm not talking.
Please. Good.
Here are some. Within the period of 1 month, a terminal sent us circulars that the price of gas was going to be 10 million per 20 metric tons. Yes. And what did they attribute it to? They said 15% increase in international price and 5% FX depreciation. So a few days thereafter, it went up to 12.8 million naira per metric ton. And what was the reason? It's a 10% increase in international price. And just of last week, we got this one calling 14 million per 20 metric tons. And the result, what's the cause? They said the continuous increase in international price and FX depression. Now, when consumers turn, they look at the plant owners because that is where they go to buy.
They are the closest.
Some few months ago, we just cleverly averted a disaster in Benin. The consumers were angry. They got to the station. You people have increased things again. Before you know it's a mob action. Before you know it, they get into frenzy and anything can happen. But it took the concerted effort of the owner of the place with all these things to explain to them that it is what we buy that we sell. It is what we buy that we sell. Now, if all this comes up, I mean, what happens? It's so bad that when the current consignment you have When you sell it, you can't replenish the stock again because you have to go and look for source money to fund it. And of course, the closest place is the bank. And banks' funds are not cheap anymore. Of course, they've never been cheap. So we come back to the same place. The point there is that at this point, we are tired of being made the scapegoat. So we are coming out to tell people, tell the government, look, the plant owners are not the problems because they buy from these sources. And it is what they sell to us. We just come out and sell to the people. So the government should help us address the issue. Gas is an essential commodity in the country now. And people have been made to at least come over to the usage of gas. If this thing persists, we may not have any choice than to call our members out, please stop loading gas. You can't kill us. But at least if we do that, maybe they will actually see what we are talking about. But the problem is that if you do that, there's going to be chaos in the system.
Yeah.
Because if everything is expensive, school fees, everything, and even the so-called palliative, even if it gets to you, how do you cook it? If it comes to
you, how do you cook?
If it's in terms of food, how do you cook? So the problem there is that's why we don't take it upon ourselves. Let's go out and let people know where the problem is coming from. Let the government know. Fine. The government has tried. We have 2 ministries in the petroleum sector now.
Yeah, we have gas.
Exactly.
So I was even thinking that there is more focus. With decade of gas, there's been a lot of, Nigerians seek transition to cleaner energy, but prices keep soaring. How does government come
Now they have put structures in place trying to unbundle and come up with restructuring the sector itself. But I don't know. It's like there's a deliberate orchestration by some people to frustrate government's effort. As the saying goes, those saboteurs of government efforts towards alleviating some of these problems we're having should allow the citizens to breathe.
So that means there's more to this. As some people are making profit from all of these things. Is that what it means?
Of course.
How can government squarely address the supply of LPG to marketers? Can't we have a direct way of making this happen?
Yeah, we at a point some time ago, we said when the supply and demand were quite some few years back, not as much as this, they came up with people to help push the product in there. But here, you have enough marketers. Why don't you sell direct to them? Sell direct to them and cut off these other issues of middlemen. Some don't have plans. They don't have any infrastructures. So you find out that they are just middlemen trading. And as the price goes, because it passes through them, of course the price goes up, and it comes to them, you have to sell. That's the problem there. And if we had there are other few ones coming up, but not at the level of LNG.
Yeah, I wanted to say that a local production.
Yes.
It's
not at the level of LNG. One came up, I think, late 2021, and we were happy.
The one in Edo.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Of course, I was at that launch.
And we're happy that, it's going to produce so 1,000 metric tons.
Yes.
And add to the system. But if I speak to you, I think 2 months ago, I just went to that place and I stopped by there. I saw trucks parked. I spoke to one of the drivers, said he has been parked there for 2 weeks.
Not been able to load.
Not been able to load. And what is the problem? They will give you one Phillips speed, either the loading bay is bad. It's a government own thing. Probably it should be privatized. Maybe they'll become serious.
But I think it's under NNPC Limited. And NNPC has become a private company. So how are you marketers, like you've identified, how do you cope in situations like this? Some people run businesses on loans. How do you mend all of this together? How are your members coping with this situation?
Frankly speaking, a lot of the members have closed shop. They have closed shop. And especially for those that were like a one-source business, it means they keep praying every day, hoping, waiting for something to happen. But really, most of the gas plants are not in business because, like I said, After selling a consignment, you can replenish it again. You borrow money. By the time you borrow the money and come back, supposing, okay, like last week, so yes, less than 2 weeks ago, it was 11.8 million.
I'm seeing that I said about 14 million.
It's 14 today.
14 million 14, for 20 metric tons.
Yes, it's 14 today. And at the way it's going, very soon it hits 15, 16, 18.
So as of today, a 12.5 kg is sold for how much?
Well, as I spoke with somebody, a big-time player yesterday, he said, well, as at Saturday, it was 9,500 for 12.5 kg. But by Sunday, it's going to increase it because it has no choice. So if it goes like that, by the end of the year,
if it continues at this pace,
when you have gas in your house, you're a big man.
And it shouldn't be like that because government wants everyone to move away and get into cleaner energies. But Mr. Basti, let's look at investments that have been before now. At the time, the central bank was doing a lot. I think there was a 250. It's a billion naira expansion fund and all of that. Intervention fund. Didn't your members get out of this fund at that time?
Well, when you ask some of them, up to today, some say they have not been able to access the fund. Yes. There was a member in the House, I think he's the chairman of gas expansion in this present dispensation. He had to ask them, why are you assessing this fund so difficult for people? Some of the CBN say, oh, no, it's the bank, it's the commercial bank, because they have to go through the route of the commercial banks and meet all their conditions. And that is the one, as we speak now, I don't even know if anybody or how many have been able to access the funds.
This is serious. This is really serious. So local production, there's an issue. Importing, forex issues also coming, and I'm sure forex plays a very important role in these too.
Yeah, for import, yeah, of course it does. And today we know what the FX market is, ability to access it. So you can't really say, oh, blaming those people. But the fact is that out of it, because the situation has come like that, the few that have access to it will virtually want to kill the market. They want to make a big kill. So we are virtually asking that, look, all the stakeholders in the sector, for the sake of the common man, let's play down on so much profiteering. Because let's play down so much profiteering. Okay, you want all the profit. If they don't buy the gas, what happens? The other day, somebody was marketing a charcoal pot on my LPG platform.
Wow.
Can you beat that?
See? So it's already giving alternatives to people because they see that everyone might not be able to embrace this. It's really touching. Let's also look at safety issues around your business because your business has a lot to do with safety. I don't know, how has that also been? And moving towards your AGM is coming also very soon. You know, I know because of this hike and all of that, that is the main issue because that's what Nigerians really want to hear about. But how have you fared all through the year? It's not really a good story to tell, I must say.
Well, these days, I think we pray more than we've been praying before. We go to church more frequently.
We're a praying country.
That is what has been keeping us. Because, I mean, we have just been blessed in a way such that we have a high sense of resilience level. For safety concern, for some time now, we've not really had any advert issue that has to do with the safety in the industry. Great. Because a lot, even the regulators are giving us some hard time. So you make sure that your business complies with all safety procedures. That's why you've not had that issue. But to even forgot to add, the importers told us that part of the reasons they are increasing, price is always increasing, that even the regulators have increased the administrative fees on gas by 270%. So all this add to the uncertainty of replenishment, they have to increase their price.
I know NAPGAMS has a relationship with the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. You must. And this time around, is it going to be more on gas, or which are you going to be? Almost on both sides.
Well,
but it should be based on
most based on gas.
Gas now, right? What will be your message to the minister if you're sitting with him?
Well, actually, we had envisaged this, and we had articulated our documents.
Great.
So I would not want to let the cat out of the bag.
Wow.
Because we are hoping to see him very soon and then present this to him. When we present it, we can now come and amplify it outside.
Okay, so it's still in the kitty.
We have done an extensive work and waiting for the day we'll see him.
Well, on behalf of Nigerians, I will appeal that, like you said, that profiteering thing, you marketers should also have.
No, don't say you marketers, because when you talk...
whatever comes to you marketers.
Yeah, whatever comes to us.
Yes.
To be frank, you find out that I will tell you the truth.
Yes, please.
Some people make a profit as low as 150,000 after sales of a truck.
Wow.
After sales of a 14 million spent to buy a 20 metric ton truck.
You have staff? You have? This is really sad. Well, let's see how it all plays out. For a country that has proven and unproven reserves of gas, I'm waiting to see that time where we'll harmonize, take advantage of this God-given gift.
We're waiting for that time.
It's very important.
Waiting earnestly for that time. Because we shouldn't be complaining about gas. In the early 2000, I mean 5-7, we were getting this thing from the Republic of Benin. We were going there queue to drive trucks across and buy gas. And up till now, we don't have it in abundance.
Well, it's a good way to live it. I must thank you so much. Mr. Basi Essien is Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Association of LPG Marketers. They're telling us the way it is, what they're going through. The true fact is what gets to them is actually, according to him, is what they sell to us. But at 18,000 naira, if that happens, I don't think that move of wanting everyone to transition into cleaner energy will become a reality. And government is pushing so hard to make this happen.
So hard. Actually, they're pushing so hard because that's the main painful aspect of it.
Yeah.
The government is trying so much, and yet it's like there's sabotage somewhere.
A lot of work needs to be done around that space. Thank you so much for your time on the program. We wish you all the best in the week.